Namaste, everyone. I'm going to share with you a Kundalini yoga for this eclipse season. We have this eclipse on December 25th, 2019, a solar eclipse with the new moon Capricorn, and this is a wonderful set you can do for any solar or lunar eclipse. Okay, so we're going to dive right in. And this particular Kundalini yoga is for healing the stressed personality, right? We all have a stressed personality, and that stressed personality comes from childhood. That inner, right? We all dealing with this inner childhood anger, and that can create the stressed personality, right? As a child, we didn't get what we wanted. We were not in a safe environment. We didn't get what we needed. We were not nourished, right? We didn't have the nutrients we needed as a young child to really come into our authentic self, right? So we develop the stressed personality, right? Where we don't feel good enough. I'm not good enough, right? Or we feel like, I can't do it. I don't have it in me to do it, right? And then we just kind of, we get very uptight, right? We get very, very uptight because we have, this inner childhood anger, right? Or I'm not good enough, or I can't do it, or I don't have enough nourishment or energy to do what I need to do, right? So then we're agitated, and then we're stressed. And then over time, we keep feeding that agitation, and then we develop, right, a stressed personality, right? It's kind of like a default. So, a default personality. So let's kind of like work with that. So we're going to kind of clear some of that stuff out. We're going to, delete some of these stressed personalities that we have. And if you want to go more into your 26 personalities, right, in yogic science, you can watch the video 26 personalities, and it's definitely a self-psychology. If you're interested in self-psychology, self-hypnosis, and how you can reparent, repattern your brain, right, your unconscious, subconscious sort of childhood patterning, so that you can develop more fruitful and functional personalities and eliminate, right, dissolve, childhood anger personality, right, or victim personality, or stress personality, right? So you can go over there if you want to go more in depth. It goes pretty in depth, but this is kind of the yogic science behind it, right? So we're going to kind of practice what it means to, right, heal these stressed personalities, right, or this inner childhood anger. So we're going to tune in with Ong Namo, Gurudev Namo. So rub your hands together at your chest. Inhale deep, squeeze, sex organ, rectum, navel, belly button, spine, tuck in the chin, press the tongue on the upper palate, deep breath, sip up more air through the nose. Press the hands into the sternum. Hold the breath. Exhale. Inhale to chant. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Exhale. Inhale. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Exhale. Inhale. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Inhale. We're going to do a protection mantra. So to the right, to behind us, to the left, ahead of us, and then spin it clockwise, and visualize gas stove blue. Adgade name, Jugadgade name, Satgade name, Siddhi Gurudeve name. Adgade name, Jugadgade name, Satgade name, Siddhi Gurudeve name. Adgade name, Jugadgade name, Satgade name, Siddhi Gurudeve name. Exhale. So we're going to do some cat-cow. So I sit on a pillow, as you can see, because what I do is I want to elevate my spine so that I'm not sinking, right? So that my spine is not like in a sinkhole and then my knees are up like this. So if you are a man, right, men tend to have their knees kind of like this when they sit, right? Or it could be a woman. So elevating the spine by sitting on a pillow, it really helps you to kind of push these legs down, right? Kind of push it down so it's not like this and your spine's not sinking, right? Which creates this sort of arc in the lower spine, which is not going to help you move the energy, right? So cat-cow is inhale through the nose, exhale through the nose while you flex the spine like this. You can go slow, fast. I am going just for a minute. So inhale powerful through the nose, open up the thyroid, see? And then arch the spine, belly button to spine, really kind of pump the belly button to spine. It's like squeezing your abs. Last one. Okay, come seated again. So, have my pillow, so I can sit on my pillow. Okay. So now we're going to have our left hand out like this across the navel, and the heart faced up, the right hand 60 degree, right? So kind of have your hand like this, bring it out like that, flat, and then bring it up, 60 degree, and then breath of fire, inhale, exhale through the nose, even breath. Now look at the tip of the nose. Inhale, squeeze, sex organ, rectum, navel, belly button, spine, tuck in the chin, press the tongue on the upper palate. Exhale, inhale. Stretch the fingers like antennas reaching for the cosmos. Sip of more air to the nose. Exhale, inhale. Exhale. Bring your hands down, feel that adjustment. Now you're going to sweep it. Your hands. You're going to do So what we're doing is you're really working the shoulders. So you're not doing flimsy with your hands. It's really working with the whole shoulders, like you're picking up water and you're throwing it back behind you. This is really good to clear out your lungs, especially if you have like clumps, right? Sometimes we get little clumps in our lungs. This will kind of clear it out, right? Inhale, hold it here. Sip it up through the O-shaped mouth like you're sipping up the universe through a straw. Hold the hands here at the head, above the head, armpits open. Sip of more air, squeeze, root lock, chin lock, tongue on the upper palate. Hold. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Bring the hands down. Take a moment to feel the adjustment. You're going to place your right hand over left and you're going to resist. So press your right hand down, press your left hand up, resist, feel it in your shoulders. creating adjustment. Long deep breath through the nose. Creating adjustment, really resist. Press the right hand down, down, force it. Force it like 20 pounds, and then push the left hand up, up, like with the force of 20 pounds. You should feel the adjustment all the way into your shoulders. Long deep breath in the nose. Inhale. Exhale. Now you're going to press your left hand on your head. You're going to resist. So you're going to press your left hand against your head, and then you're going to press your head towards the left. So you're creating that resistance. You're creating a adjustment in the brain, in the neck, as well as in the intuitive centers. So again, go to the left and then right. So it should feel, you should feel resistance, creating adjustment. We don't normally do this. It's wonderful for the body. Couple more. Inhale long and deep through the nose. It should not be a shallow breath experience. Last one. Now what we're going to do is have our hands up like this and bring it down like we're kind of chopping wood. So inhale up, exhale down through the nose. It's kind of like in the arc line to the navel, arc line to navel, right? Inhale. Squeeze it all the way up. Bring the shoulders to the ears, the armpits open. Squeeze the rib cage. Up, up. Exhale. Hold the out breath. Squeeze all the way up. Create a straight line. Inhale. Hold. Squeeze root lock, chin lock. Tongue on the upper palate. Really lift up the rib cage. Levitate. Exhale. Hold the out breath. Squeeze. Inhale. Squeeze. Exhale. Hold the out breath. Squeeze. Inhale. Last time. Hold the breath. Squeeze. Rib cage up. Armpits up. Pull even up, up, up. Exhale. Hold the out breath. Squeeze. Inhale. Relax. Really bring the hands down slowly. Right? Bring it down slowly to really open up the energy, opening up that arc line. So, with our hands out, like this. What we're going to do is open, kind of open the hands, bring it in. Keep your fingers together, and then kind of roll them into like a fist with your thumb kind of on the outside. creating all of this is psychic adjustments that we're doing. Long deep breath through the nose, close your eyes. Okay, inhale, open the hands. Take a long deep breath. Exhale. Bring your hands to the knees. And what we're going to do is we're going to rotate clockwise. And we're going to kind of like, we're going to chant, but we're going to chant like we're putting ourselves in like a hypnosis, right? So just kind of, this is kind of a slow, large sort of movement, right? So kind of rotating around your hips. And the chant is, Hum, hum, brum, hum. 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 Rotate counterclockwise. Hum, hum, brum, hum. 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 Inhale. Exhale. That right there will just put you in this sort of hypnotic sort of motion, right? It's very, very balancing for your whole sort of system. Okay, so now we're going to have the thumb over the sun, Venus finger, the ring finger, and then we're going to have the thumb on the right hand. We're going to have the thumb on the Mercury mound, which is the pinky, right? Like this. I know it's very, your brain, it's like, it definitely does like something to your brain, right? Holding this, right? Like this. So you're going to have your sort of hand like this, sort of close to your ribcage, like the arms, so it's not like this, not like that, right here, kind of close to your sort of breast, right, your left breast, and then you're going to have your Jupiter hand out like this, right here, this Jupiter mound, and what you're doing is you're kind of bringing yourself a clear communication, right, and also you're bringing yourself, when we think of the sun, we think of the Venus, you're bringing yourself a more radiant sort of communication out. So just kind of hold this like this. So your arm is kind of parallel to your shoulder, so it's not like that. It's very much your wrist is parallel to your shoulder. And then really stretch the arm out like you're kind of pressing, right, against a wall, and really have this here again, the left hand against your rib cage, and like kind of back like it's towards your breast, right, like this. Really make sure you're pressing onto the pinky mound as well as pressing down on the ring finger. And just long deep breath. Long deep breath in the nose and just really kind of fall into it, really focus, concentrate, right? Focus, concentrate. We push that energy forward, out. You're not here long, trust me. We're doing the minimal time, right? So it's not long. Everything I give you is very much a gentle dose. This can be something that could be very, very intense. Hold it. If it starts to feel a certain way, just hold it even and breathe deeper. We're kind of pulling that left hand back, right, towards that breast. Really pushing that right hand out, right? You have 30 seconds, so do not fear. This is not long at all. This is nothing. This really is nothing. Four seconds. This is nothing. You can hold it. If you cannot, it shows you do not have much will. Inhale. Exhale. Bring the hands down. Now just kind of move your hands in front and look straight ahead at maybe something, at something 6 feet away. It could be a wall, something preferably that is not a picture of your grandmother, something that's kind of blank, clear, right? And then just kind of move the hands in front of the eyes like this, but do not look at your hands. Don't even notice your hands. Just look at the wall. Like you can't even notice your hands are doing anything. So you're just kind of jiggling in front of your eyes, but your eyes are not blinking, your eyes are not moving, your eyes are focused on a spot on the wall. Don't let the hands distract you. Let the hands move so fast, let them move faster, and let your vision not be distracted by the web of your fingers moving in front of you. And have the hands out about 2 inches away from your eyes, and just kind of go up and down, up and down. but still look straight ahead. Try to focus. Try not to let your eyes get distracted or to wander. Let your eyes be clear on a target. This is very, very healing for you. Right? Very, very healing for you. Long deep breath through the nose. You're not here for long, so do not waste your time. This will help you not to waste time. When you're able to see through the web of distraction, right? See right through it, like a jungle of distraction, to see your target, you become a master hunter. When the noises of the jungle do not disturb you, right, you become a master hunter. The jungle is thick, the web is thick. You are in the web like a jungle of humanity, like a jungle of ideology, like a jungle of culture and religion. But you're not disturbed, you're not affected, or you're not disrupted by the noises of all the jungle. You can see clearly your target. You can see clearly, and that makes your vision, that makes your eyes very much like an archer. You have the archer. You have the archer in your body, because you train your body to have the archer, but you also have it in your eyes, where the jungle is everywhere around you, like a crowd at a mall. The mall, all the people can be so overwhelming. The jungle of people's thoughts, the jungle of people's words, the jungles of the interactions, their personalities, can be so overwhelming to your vision that you can forget what you came for. You can forget what you went to the mall in the first place for. This will help you to have a clear vision where you can see past the jungle of all the people at the mall and be able to not forget what you came here for, what you came to the mall for, what you came to the jungle for, and you can be able to go through the jungle and not lose your aim, not lose your strength, not lose your target because of the personalities, the ideologies, religions, and all of the thoughts and all the thought forms that are floating around in the ethers, floating around everywhere, trying to soak you up, trying to get into you, try to talk to you. You have clear communication. You know what you want to talk with. You know what you do not want to talk with, because you have the archer eyes. You have the eyes, the vision eyes. The vision that's not so caught in the jungle, that appreciates, that loves the jungle, because it's a master of the jungle. It's a master hunter of the jungle. So inhale long and deep through the nose. You're kind of moving the hands up. Really focus. As you continue to go, you'll see your eyes are unable to blink because you'll see the focus. It's so clear. And you'll see that the hands moving, the web of fingers is not so much affecting you. It's not so much bad after all. Right? The mall of people, the thought forms everywhere, the religion ideologies that seem all too much and all everywhere, the agendas that are so infinite on this planet do not seem to really affect you as anymore. You're not here for long, so hold it now. This really is nothing, right? This is really nothing. This is really nothing for you. This is something definitely manageable. Okay, inhale. Now look straight ahead, have the hands out, the left hand's front, the right hand in front of the left hand, and look out at the wall through the fingers and do not blink. Try to stare at something, do not blink, do not feel distracted, do not feel overwhelmed by the hands, the pressure of it. Inhale deeper, focus on something on the wall, do not look away, do not look down, focus. This will help you to have better concentration so that you can be a better hunter for what you came here for. Exhale, inhale. Now this is your test. Do not look away, do not blink, do not look away, do not blink. Just steady your eyes on the target. Exhale, inhale. Do not blink, do not look away. Focus, concentrate. You're becoming vision, true vision, not distracted vision, clear vision. Exhale. Bring the hands down, close the eyes. Roll the eyes to the third eye. Now look into your third eye and see through your third eye, right? Look through your third eye. See put a lot of pressure, right, on the place between your eyebrows. Put a lot of pressure on it and look through it. Sense. This is your sense body. Your ability to sense, to know, to be in the know, right? Your eyes can see and can guide and can know where you're going, what you're doing, but to be in the know, that's a different thing. To be in the know of your soul, the know of what it is you need to do, what it is you need to change, what it is that you really want to do. Be in the know. Inhale long and deep through the nose. Really put a lot of pressure. Focus on the third eye. Really put a lot of pressure from the inside out. From the inside out. Now what we're going to do is we're going to clap. Right here at the third eye. Clap, clap, clap. And just close your eyes and feel you're putting pressure on your third eye from the inside out. These are all psychic adjustments. Everything we're doing is a psychic adjustment. You'll feel the pressure, the clap even harder, clap even harder. Clap the hardest, the hardest. Inhale, press it into your third eye, hold, feel the energy, move into your brain now, into the deeper parts of your brain, move into your face, moving into your face, your sinuses, clearing out your sinuses in your face, moving into your deeper part of the brain, press it into your third eye. Exhale. Now we're going to have the same position with the thumb over the ring finger, the left hand, and then the thumb over the pinky mount on the right hand, and you're going to do the same thing we did before, where you're going to press the left hand back towards the breast, right? Keep it snuggled right here to the rib cage, and have your right hand like you're pressing against a wall. Arm is very straight, and your wrist and your shoulder in the same playing field. I'm just going to close your eyes. You're going to feel the subtle difference. You're not holding this long at all, much less time. Breathe in long and deep. You have 10 seconds. Hold it very prestigiously. Inhale. Exhale. Bring the hands down. Take a moment to feel the adjustment again. So now we're going to have our hands up, and we're going to kind of bring our spine back, but our spine is still straight, but we're going back at like a 45-degree angle. Have the hands out like this, like you're reaching for something, but you're not. Your arms you're bent slightly, and you're kind of reaching, right? you're kind of reaching, but you kind of feel like you're pulling it into you. And as you pull it into you, you kind of go back, and then you sort of come up, but you're still having that 45, so you're not coming all the way straight. You're still coming back, but when you go back, you go even further back, but still keeping the legs, the knees on the ground, so not lifting the knees. And then kind of reach, kind of the 40 degree, and kind of pull it in to your heart, but not touching your heart, and then come kind of out, like you're reaching, and then kind of bringing it into your chest, and then kind of coming out and reaching, right, and kind of pulling it into you, coming back, and then coming to that 45, and like reach, right, and then come back. So it's kind of like you're bringing in this energy, you're like scooping it up, and you're pulling it into you. So inhale, grab that energy. Exhale, pull it into you, and then go back as you can without lifting the legs off the ground. So it should feel like weight coming in. So it shouldn't be a flimsy move. It should feel like you're pulling heavy energy towards you. Now bring it in, and bring it into a fist, and bring it into the chest. Hold this position back. Press it onto the chest, right at this thymus. Again, tuck in that chin. Your head should not be flimsing around. Your head should feel secure, right? It's just your back is going back at this angle. Press it into your chest. Roll the shoulders back. Create space in the back of the neck. Inhale. Exhale. Come up. Now, the last thing that we're going to do is, this is a hara, right? It's a hara, hara, hara. We're going to do it in rhythm, a particular rhythm. So it's H-A-R, and you're going to bounce the tongue up on the upper palate, right? And you're going to press the belly button spine, hara, 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 right? So you're really stimulating this sort of navel point. And we're just going to relax, and you're just going to follow the rhythm with me. Hara, 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 hara. Inhale, exhale. Same thing we're going to do, but we're going to have our hands, and we're going to kind of like we're sort of jogging or running, right? And just think that, we're kind of just sort of moving. You should feel like your spine is moving, right? Hara, 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 hara. We'll go a little bit faster. Hara, 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 hara. Make sure your thumb on the pinky mound, and then your fingers are just over your thumb like this. Right? Hara, 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 hara. And really I'm twisting my spine as well. I'm not just moving my arms. I'm also giving a little twist, and you'll feel it in the base of your spine. Hara, 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 your front, your forehead. I want you to see as though you are projecting, right, energy, heat from your forehead, right? See it like a projection, and you're projecting it out ahead of you, and you're seeing yourself moving forward, movement into what it is that you need to be doing. Hada, 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 hada. Inhale, exhale. Now just hold your navel. Long deep breath in the nose. And like press into your navel and press your arms to your rib. Open up your chest, open up your shoulder, open the back of the neck. Really opening up. You're almost pressing your collar blades together, and you're really opening up your chest. Like kind of pressing your chest out as you press your belly button, the spine, and press your hands into your navel. Inhale, hold. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And just kind of shake it out. Sort of like roll it through you, roll it out. And just kind of do some little shakes in the shoulders and the hips. Feel your spine shaking, your neck jiggling. Feel your butt jiggling, feeling everything kind of jiggling. We're doing a jiggle. Feel even your pelvis, your reproductive system, your hips. Feel your breasts, your stomach, your belly, your organs. Feel everything jiggling. Feel the knees. Feel it really, really jiggling. Shimmy. Shimmy, shimmy, shimmy. The shoulders, shimmy, shimmy, the thighs. Really shimmy, 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 shimmy. You have 50 seconds. Shimmy, let it all kind of settle, let it all like move. All that, everything, that tension, the shoulders and the hips, kind of shimmy, shimmy, shake the butt, jiggle, 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 kind of like you're a fish or you're a penguin and you're kind of waddling, right? Waddle, 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 waddle. Very fast, waddle, waddle, waddle. Like you're a penguin, you're waddling, you can waddle ahead and close your eyes and just kind of waddle, 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 waddle. Like move like a fish. This is so healing for your spine. Move like a fish. Waddle, waddle, waddle. You have 10 seconds. Waddle, 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 waddle. Inhale. Exhale. So there you go. That right there is a good set to kind of like move some energy around that stress personality that gets kind of burrowed within our psyche, right? Gets burrowed in our, we just create a psychic adjustment to kind of allow yourself to be more, kind of balanced, to kind of, get rid of these, clear out some of these, this default personality that are developed from, excessive agitation, right? We get a lot of agitation from childhood or whatever it is. We didn't get what we want or needed. We got very agitated, or we were in a very agitated environment when we were young. So we get very, agitated by ourselves a lot of times in our behaviors or habits, right, from parents or childhood and all these kind of things. So we create a personality that we don't like. It's called a default personality, but we kind of do it. We choose that personality because we don't know how to cope with our stress or anxiety. We don't know how to cope with these sort of deep subconscious heaviness. We all have this deep conscious sort of pressure, and we don't know how to cope with it, right? In a functional way, right? Because that deep subconscious fear, anxiety, sabotage, phobia, we're agitated by it, right? It's very agitating for us to deal with. So we don't know how to cope. So we create this default personality, which basically is a way for us to try to cope with these sort of subconscious tensions that we have, but we're not really coping with it. We're just kind of putting agitation with agitation, right? The stress personality, right? It's just, you're just basically dealing with agitation, right? These kind of habits, patterns, I'm not good enough, and all that kind of stuff, right? So this is a way for us to kind of, is very, very balancing, right? This sort of Kriya in the way that it can help us to manage that stress personality, right? With more of a easygoing sort of energy, right? Kind of relaxed energy, and help us to be better at communicating, at transforming, right? Because communication is a way to transform. You can create or destroy a relationship with communication. We know this. You can destroy a relationship or you can create a relationship on communication, right? So we kind of, using our inner sort of communication, right, which is, we balance that out, we can better, right, make choices, right, we can better make transformation that is more creative and less, destructive, right, where, I'm agitated and then I'm exhausted because, I'm doing all this and it's exhausting, and then the other people are agitated and they're exhausted, and then, they're sending, I'm just exhausting altogether, right? So thank you for joining me, and we're going to tune out with one long Satnam. So compress your hands together at your chest. Sat Nam. Now, just go out there and dance, right? One of the best ways to kind of alleviate, your stress personality is to dance. Not just, booty dancing or booty pop dancing or what that kind of dancing is. I'm talking about dancing to, like, liberate. When we talk about dancing as in, like, Native American, tribal, sort of ecstatic, or something that's really soulful dancing, right? That really is, like, it's connected to a higher vibration of self-expression, right? Where you can really, like, let loose and not in intoxication, right? We're not trying to escape, avoid, distract. The sort of dance I'm talking about is freedom, right? It's intoxication and freedom are two different things, right? Intoxication is more an escape to an illusion. I go into an illusion because I don't want to deal with my reality, right? So I kind of dance in this illusion, where, it's kind of intoxicated, or there's freedom, right? Dance is like freedom. It's like, I'm liberating my stuff, right? I'm not just avoiding, trying to shove my stuff into the corner and just, kind of, check out, numb out. The freedom is about, I'm dancing to basically heal, mend, and to liberate the things in my reality, such as my fear, or, my pain, or, my childhood, or, my heartbreak, or, lost a job, or these kinds of things, right? I'm dancing to not indulge, right, in whatever thing that's there, but I'm trying to liberate, right? I'm trying to send joy to these aspects of my life so that I can have the power, right, the energy to do what I need to do to make it easier for myself, right? So I can change and transform my life so that these sort of burdens or these, pressures can become easier for me to manage. It may not become easy, right? Getting a new job, making peace with a relationship, that might not be easy. It's still the same difficulty, but I make it easier because I have a greater sort of, I'm more liberated in the way that I present and move towards that and stand and face that, right? And that's a completely different sort of dance than like intoxication where I have problems, I have problems, I have problems, you have problems, problem, and nobody's actually chewing the thing and swallowing the thing and dealing with the thing, right? It's just like we're just chewing on a problem, but there's liberation is when you chew on the problem, you swallow the problem, and then your body starts to do the work to digest and to work the problem out, right? To work it out, right? And freedom is ability where you have this level of joy, right? Freedom is joy, it's authenticity, it's also a sense of liberty, right? From illusions, from distractions, from, I hate myself and the fear and, these, behaviors and habits that are very dysfunctional or very destructive, right? It's a way for us to kind of swallow the problem, whatever, I lost a job, heartbreak, whatever it is, I'm dealing with great trauma from my childhood, whatever it could be. You can swallow it and you have enough sort of freedom, right? Liberty in your movement to be able to successfully kind of solve it, right? Just like your digestive system is constantly like solving the problem, not the problem, but digesting and solving that kind of food, right? It's constantly metabolizing it. It's clearing it out. It's moving the nutrients where it needs to be moved. So it's solving the problem. So if you're malnourished in your kidney, or if you're malnourished in your liver, your metabolism solves the problem and it knows how to deliver nutrients to these areas, right? Same thing when it comes to like dance. It's a way for us to basically amplify our metabolism, right, through movement, right? We become very metabolically vital is for us to really metabolize like the lack of nutrients in our emotions, in our mind, even in our vision, even in just our behaviors and our habits, and be very malnourished. So when we nourish these habits, behaviors, whatever it is, that we know is very now malnourished, and that's why it's like wilted plant, right? It's not functional, right? It's kind of like it's sort of dying, right? Death, right? We talk death, personality, death, behavior and habit. It's just reeking of death, right? We start to smell like death, kind of thing. When we do dance for freedom, it's like we're becoming metabolically fierce at being able to send nutrients to the areas that need it the most. So if we lost a job, our sort of, our dance, right, our freedom will send nutrients, will send nourishment to that area in our life, right? Either it's a mental sort of, issue, right, dealing with the loss of a job, or it's an emotional, or it's a physical, or it could be many things at once, right? It will send nutrients, right? It will send energy towards that to really help us out, right? So it can be easier on us. So the difficulty doesn't need to change for us to start to get better at managing it, right? It doesn't need to get easier. We just got to get better at managing it, right? And then eventually it feels like it's gotten easier, even though maybe it hasn't, right? It's because we've gotten better at managing it because we're more nourished. And intoxication is not necessarily nourishment. It isn't, right? Escape, distraction, avoidance is a way for us to chew the problem, right? And get our jaw so tight, right? We start to become uptight, and then the problem doesn't go anywhere. It's still in our mouth. We're still chewing it, and we get kind of agitated by it eventually, because we're meant to move on. We're not meant to chew on something forever. We're meant to chew, swallow, deal with it, and then keep moving on, right? But our metabolic system is out of whack for a lot of us, right? We talk about ability to send nutrients to our life because we're malnourished in our total system. So we're like trying to send nutrients to all these areas that are considered a problem, but we don't have any nutrients because our whole entire system is stripped of all nutrients, right? So we're like, it's like a metabolism that is completely stopped, right? Some people have that where it's like literally almost so slow that it's like stopped, right? And therefore, right, it's difficult to send the nutrients where it needs to be sent to, right? It can't go as quickly, it can't soak up as quickly, and therefore it seems like it's like a, like, okay, like a long haul kind of thing. So when we, through this kind of set, right, we nourish the entire system so that, we can send, like a tree system, send this, this reserve of nutrients to these areas in our life that need it the most, so that we can start to get better at managing the problems, right, with a sense of freedom rather from a sense of intoxication that just creates more, you know, it just builds up, right? Just keep chewing, 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 chew more, chew more, chew more, never swallow, chew more, problem, 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 chew, 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 chew. Eventually your jaws, get so tight, and what happens is it gets backed up, it gets a buildup, right? Right? And that's what happens, right? People, they never kind of bring freedom, they never liberate the thing, whatever it is, and they carry it for decades. And then they realize, man, I should have just swallowed that thing. I should have just let my metabolism deal with it, right? Deconstruct it, eliminate it, relinquish it, transform it, send it into, revelation. But I didn't swallow it. Therefore, I just spent my whole life chewing, but not really learning, right? Not learning how to actually move it through my system, right? Either that's a heartbreak, a loss of a job. We have to learn how to move it through our system. And that's crying. That's going through the mental, whatever it is, so that we can find our sort of ability to navigate, to manage, and to get knowledgeable, and therefore get really skillful at moving energy, right? Even if it's lost a job, moving that, how do I move that, right? Or loss of love, how do I move that energy through me in a way that's going to get me the most energy, that's going to get me the most nutrients, and not going to wipe me out into some intoxication land where I'm just completely, chewing all day and not even, just problem, problem, problem all day, right? That's a waste of life force energy. We know that, right? But we don't do anything about it, right? Because we don't have the metabolic strength or the nourishment to actually do what we need to do, right? Because to do what we need to do, it requires us to be, we need an energy reserve, we need to be energized, and we need to know how to move that energy we have into, right, into where it needs to go, right? So I'm going to leave you guys with this, so thank you.